Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Tina Francois Blue. I am the Associate Director of Community Health Initiatives and Research for the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force. And my guest here today with me is Elder Quency Hampton of the, I don't want to get the organization wrong, of the Carolyn and Karen Spiritual Healing House. We have a really great show for you today, and we're going to give you some really great information and share some information with you about a really amazing woman. So just to start off with information for the task force, we are at 300 South Ashland Avenue, Suite 202. Our phone number is 312-942-3368. You can email us at info@chicagobreastcancer.org. Or you can go on our website at www.chicagobreastcancer.org. So let's get into the show. We have a live show, so if you want to call in, please do so. So Elder Quency, thank you for coming on the show and sharing a little bit about yourself. You are a passionate breast cancer advocate.
Yes.
So can you share with me a little bit about your story with breast cancer?
I am also a 33-year breast cancer survivor.
That's amazing. Praise God.
I was diagnosed in '83, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's very difficult to understand because I didn't know anything about cancer, especially breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And to be diagnosed with breast cancer at 38
Wow.
was something. And then I had a 10-year-old daughter. But I had the surgery. I had a modified radical mastectomy, and my breast cancer wasn't in my breast; it was under my arm.
Wow.
And I'm good. I'm still here.
That's a blessing.
And I'm still here, and I just I'm passionate about the fact that breast cancer is preventive. You know, it's a part of education, and I like to tell women or anyone, when you were educated in school, you didn't get your ABCs once a week. You got them every day.
Yes.
So in order to decrease the death rate among women, especially African American women,
Mm-hmm.
and women of color, education is the key.
Very important.
Okay, education is truly the key. It has to be done every day because we have a tendency to have lapse of memory, especially about our health. Or we have a tendency to be afraid, or we don't want anyone to know that we've been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I always tell women, if you fail to go and get a mammogram, I call it what a difference a mammogram makes.
Mm-hmm.
After Dinah Washington, what a difference a day makes. So when you fail to go and then you've been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, everybody knows it. So the fact that you feared,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that you most feared doesn't exist because you can go. What a difference a mammogram makes. A mammogram makes a bit of difference.
Was your breast cancer identified from you going to get your mammogram?
No. I identified it by the lump in under my arm,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know anything about taking a mammogram.
Mm.
That wasn't in 1983.
This is true.
That wasn't talked up. That wasn't talked up. It wasn't. I
And
never
especially
heard it.
at 38.
At 38, no
Mm-hmm.
one. I didn't even know anyone who had breast cancer. I never saw any media information on breast cancer. Never, ever, ever. I don't ever remember it. Haven't seen it. So I wouldn't know to go and have a mammogram.
This is true.
I didn't even know what a mammogram was.
And so once you identified your lump, you went in to call the doctor to go?
Yeah, what happened, I was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I was on vacation in New Orleans. And I came home. I was substitute teaching down south. So consequently, I didn't have any insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the lump. I found the lump under my arm, taking a shower. So I immediately, because I just left Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 6 months before, and I came back because I had friends at Cook County Hospital.
Okay.
So they took me to Cook County Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and they diagnosed it. And at first they were going to send me home because they didn't have any beds.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but God
Exactly.
opened up a bed for me. So I went in, and the doctor came and sat on my bed. Came and sat on my bed.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Well, yeah, it's this and this, that." And I said, "Well, what are we going to do? See, we can do this, we can do lumpectomy, we can do mastectomy, and we can do this." And I thought and I remembered as a child, when the scripture said, if the eye is offensive to thee, pluck it out. So I just told him, okay, we're going to get rid of this, okay. My daughter's 10 years old. I want to make sure I live to see my daughter grow up. So we're going to take a chance. We're going to take a chance, and we're going to have a modified radical mastectomy. That's what we did, and I'm here. I'm here to tell women what a difference a mammogram could make. But at that time, I didn't know anything about a mammogram.
Wow.
I just knew my body. And I knew my body had, my underarms had no business with lumps under them. So I took care of it immediately. It was stage 2. I didn't wait for 3, 4, and the rest of those numbers.
Exactly.
You know.
There's so many powerful things in what you just said. You know, the first is, yes, what a difference a mammogram makes. Because for you being a young woman at 38, and the protocols for, you know, going to in screening guidelines, even now there's some ambiguity, and there's some discussion around when women should go. But it's still very important that, first and foremost, like Elder Quency said, it's so important for you to know your body and know what's normal for you. If you sense something is off, definitely you should contact a primary care provider, contact a healthcare provider to have a conversation to ensure that you're connected to services. There are many, many services out here, regardless of whether or not you have insurance or not. Our organization is here if you if you have questions, if you need services, if you need to get connected, if you just want to talk with someone. We have this beautiful woman right here who is out there hitting the pavement, talking to women, engaging women, telling them about her story. And so, we're here. There's no reason to let fear stop you from moving forward with your health.
Absolutely.
So, tell me, what was of the experience that your journey with breast cancer? What was the most powerful thing about your experience that has impacted you today?
The women that I was in the room with at the hospital. One of the young ladies was younger than I was.
Wow.
She had 4 children. And she feared, but it wasn't the fear of the breast cancer. It was the fear that her husband wouldn't love her because she would have a mastectomy. And it was it opens your eyes and your mind and your heart and your spirit up when the lady made a transition. And some of the women that was with us, that we went to therapy with, we attended the service. And he said, "You all were in the room with my wife?" "Yes." He said, "She didn't tell me," and we had to tell him, "She was afraid that you wouldn't love her." And a lot of times that's what we get caught up with, that physical body, supposedly sexual body of ours, that the person that we love or think that's not going to love us will go away from us. And the fact that she never told him this, the man was hurt. So I didn't understand that, but I understand it now. And it's important to, and you'd be surprised, I've met women who tell me that. And I tell them, okay, so what you love most of all is someone else?
Rather than yourself.
Rather than yourself? You do want to live, don't you? And they say, yeah, but, okay, well, I'm going to leave you alone and let you think about that. I'm not getting ready to debate that with you, because eventually...
Raising the question, asking them, giving them just that question
just
to
that,
consider.
Eventually you're going to come to grips with the fact that you've got something in your body that can kill you.
But you can do something about it. It doesn't have to kill you.
You have a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice. You have a big choice. And if the choice is a mastectomy, a lumpectomy, or whatever, do it. Do what you have to do and move on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this is a great conversation. If we're live, and give us a call if you have any questions or if you want to join the conversation. Again, if you are a woman out there who needs to get a mammogram or you need to get more information, please give us a call.
Absolutely.
312-942-3368. We are the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force, and I am here with Elder Quency Hampton. So can you tell me a little bit about some of the work that you are doing right now as an advocate for breast cancer, and really encouraging women? What's some of what's going on with you and some of the projects you're working on now?
Well, a project that we've got 2 projects. A project that we're working on now is the are the disparities that are going on in the African American and Hispanic community. And we picked a particular area, and that particular area is Auburn-Gresham, because I live in Auburn-Gresham. And Auburn-Gresham's death rate from African American women is constantly going up. Now, the Metropolitan Breast Cancer Task Force did a report in 2014 that is the blueprint. It's truly the blueprint. It is the blueprint. It diagrammed everything about what has to be done, how you go about doing it, but it hasn't been done. That's my job.
Okay.
It's my responsibility. I've taken on the responsibility of standing on the corner, passing out information. I go to clinics. I ask them if I can come in with my table, with my books. I have just made a decision that they're going to say, we are seeing you a little bit too much. You're not on staff. So I'm going to worry them. I'm going to pass it out. And we are going to do it for a year. Because like I said, education and prevention is an everyday thing. And early detection is very, very, very critical. And the reduction in Auburn-Gresham, not only Auburn-Gresham, but all of the African American communities, it's actually happening. And there's no reason for any woman,
to
no matter what color, to die when there's something there that can be done.
Mammography, we're not in 83 anymore, and mammography there's plenty of literature that has documented the benefits of mammography and the benefits of early detection and the advances that we have in treatment. So cancer is not a death sentence. You do not have to die from breast cancer. There are many, many women like this woman sitting right next to me who are survivors. They are champions. They are thriving, happy, long lives post-diagnosis. And so it's very, very important. So that's exciting that you are out in the community. You are being the change agent. You are being the change that you want to see in the community and really connecting with women. And so far, what has been your experience with engaging with women in Auburn-Gresham?
They really don't want to hear it.
What's the number one barrier you hear?
The number one barrier is fear. And the second barrier is to say, I'm thinking about it, or I'm not really interested. Well, I like that challenge because those very ladies that told me about that, they'll see me again. And eventually they're going to get tired of seeing me. And eventually I'm going to have this done because I'm sick of her. So it's a matter of me being the teacher.
By hook or by crook?
By hook. Yeah, I'm the teacher with the ruler going.
Right.
Right, okay. So, because fear, I'm not a person that goes with the medical professionals in stage 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. I happen to know a man who, God doesn't look at stages. And the foundation that I have was based on the Word of God for healing, because He healed me. He did not have to do what He did for me. And I'm sitting here telling people about breast cancer, about something that can be prevented simply by saying what a difference a mammogram makes. It makes a lot of difference, even to self-examinations. And there's some criticism on that. But had I not known my body, then I wouldn't be sitting here today, because I would have ignored it. I would have absolutely ignored it. But the fact that you know your body and you know when something is not there, you know that this is not supposed to be happening, I better go see about it. And that's what I did. And Cook County took care of me. And I thank Cook County for that every day.
They are definitely still one of the ones definitely in the fight. They are providing wonderful services for women, and there are many other hospitals that are providing quality care for women. So again, you have options. Even if you don't have insurance, you have options.
Absolutely.
We are here, our organization, Carolyn and Karen Spiritual Healing House, Elder Quency. Our organization, the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force, we are here to provide education, to provide information, and more than anything, we're here to dispel any of the misinformation that you have.
Absolutely.
We're here to answer questions. We're here to be a support to women to ensure that they have access to quality care and that they actually go and get screened. Because what a difference a mammogram makes.
A mammogram makes a lot of difference, and it's only, one lady told me that she doesn't like the hurt, and I like that question. I like that answer because when the statement
in,
it was the best in she could have come up with. I asked her. I said, "And how long is the hurt?" She said, "Oh, it's only a few minutes." I said, took her hand and I pushed it on my prostheses. I said, "Do you know how long I hurt?"
What did she say?
Oh, I'm going. Because
put it in perspective.
I mean, you have to, you put the truth out there. You put the truth there. The truth is the light. And the truth is the pinch that you feel for a mammogram is
nothing
compared to a modified radical mastectomy. They're not even in the same room.
Right.
They're not on the same chair, nowhere near the pain that you go through, the chemotherapy, the radiation, the fact that when you talk to people and you talk to them and you say, I had a mastectomy, and they talk to you, and then when you know anything, their eyes are on your chest. I mean, that's discomforting, but then when you think about where you've come from and know that that walk that you took and that talk that you talked,
that journey,
that it's a journey, and I keep a journal. It's a journey that you can look back. See, that's what the past is. The past is a testament to the present and the future. And when you look back over what you've been through, then you can. I get it in my head. I can do anything.
Yes.
And my anything is to get women to understand that what a difference a mammogram makes. It makes a big difference. It makes a tremendous difference. All you got to do is walk in there. 15 minutes?
And you're done.
Then you're done. But
so you said that you were looking to do this work for a year.
Yes.
And so what are some outcomes that you hope to accomplish in that year?
I hope. Well, I'm not going to say I hope. I know that the reduction is going to be reduced. That disparity is going to be reduced because I have hope and I have faith, because without hope, faith loses its aim. Right. So the aim is to reduce the disparity,
to reduce
that's
the
going
deaths
on
for breast cancer.
And in the Auburn-Gresham community. And I imagine if some people who live in Auburn-Gresham are watching this now, they may be offended, but we're dealing with truth. We're not dealing with fantasies or maybes. We're dealing with truth, and the fact of the matter is Auburn-Gresham is high for death among African American women, and that shouldn't be. Now, this is 2016, not 1983.
This is true.
Not 1983, when I didn't know anything about a mammogram. First time I ever saw a mammogram machine was in 1983, and they were putting it on me. So, it is only for 15 minutes. You sit in the waiting room, you go and have a mammogram, and you're in there, 5 minutes? What a difference a mammogram makes.
Yes, ma'am.
It makes a big difference. It makes a tremendous difference. And it also makes a difference if you believe when you go in there that this is preventive. There's nothing there. You can't believe going in there that they're going to detect something. Spoken word, thoughts. So you go in and have your mammogram and walk on out and say, God is good. That's how it is, then.
And if they find anything, knowledge is power. There's a next step for you to follow.
There's all, and see, the part about that, Tina, is choices.
Yes. Having choices. Suppose it got to stage 4, 5, or 6. I don't know if it's a 4, 5, or 6. It's 5 or 6. But let's just say it got to 5 or 6. Right.
Then what choice do you have?
None. You don't really have very
No, you
many
don't.
choices.
But if you go in there and they find a little this, a little that, you have a choice. You have a choice. And don't be afraid. Because suppose you didn't find it until it was too late.
Right.
And then you would start with the if I coulda, woulda, coulda, and it was nobody's fault but your own, because prevention
is key.
is the key. Prevention, 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 and I'm gonna preach it until I get hoarse. So if you all see me out there, be not dismayed. It's just me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I am with Elder Quency Hampton. If you were just joining us, I am with the Metropolitan Chicago Breast Cancer Task Force. We are at 300 South Ashland Avenue, Suite 202. You can give us a call at 312-942-3368. You can email us at info@chicagobreastcancer.org or go to our website at chicagobreastcancer.org. If you would like more information about and to talk with Elder Quency, you can contact Carolyn and Karen Spiritual Healing House at 872-212-1168. She also has a website, ckshhbreastcancer.org. So, Elder Quency, can you share with me any other projects that you're working on?
Yeah, currently we are working to, as a matter of fact, I'm going on a trolley home buying ride with the Auburn-Gresham development to look at property in Auburn-Gresham. We're going to purchase a transitional house for breast cancer survivors because when they mandated, Congress and the Senate have mandated that a woman who has a mastectomy or a lumpectomy, it could be in or outpatient for 24 hours, depending on what it is. So everybody was not ready to go home because I wasn't ready to go home. I'll be perfectly honest. I was not ready to go home. But what happened to me is that I was down south living, and I came to stay with my sister, and she only had a one-bedroom apartment. So I had a tube here, tube there, tube. I had 4 tubes. And I would take a shower, but I never looked at my body. And when I finally got a chance to look at it, I almost passed out. But when you are around women who've gone through the same thing you're going through, we can sit and talk.
Be a support.
Be a support. And you're not going to get on the phone and call your girlfriend and say, oh, girl, guess what Tina told me? Because we understand, we've been...
It's a sisterhood.
The sisterhood and the fact that when I say I know what you've been through,
you know.
I'm telling the truth.
You know.
I'm not saying, oh, I imagine. Tina, I can imagine.
I can imagine that's not,
No. We're not going to do the imagine thing. We're going to do the truth. And women need it. We really do.
Well, thank you so much, Elder Quency. That's our show for today. This has been so amazing, and we've learned so much. So, again, if you would like more information about the task force, please go to, call us at 312-942-3368, or you can go to our website, chicagobreastcancer.org, or info@chicagobreastcancer.org if you would like to email us. There is something important to just close the show with. We are right now still without a state budget, and we do not have additional funds for breast and cervical cancer programs. So please call your legislators. Please contact them to let them know we need a fully funded budget to ensure that no woman dies unnecessarily from breast cancer or any other services. We need all programs to support our community to ensure that people are living healthy, happy lives.
Absolutely.
So please call them. You can actually go on IllinoisGOA.org, and you can look up put in your zip code to find who your legislator is if you do not know that. Actually, you can also give us a call if you would like more information on how you can get in touch with your legislator, or how you can be an advocate for our health and human services and programs that are so vital throughout our community. So please, please, please contact them by phone, send letters. By the 30th, June 30th is when there's supposed to be a budget. So please make sure you contact them before then. Thank you. That's a wrap for today. We are here on the third Tuesday. Please join us in July. Thank you so much, and have a good evening.